Welcome to the Oss-So Crazy podcast, brought to you by Ranked Soap Company.
All right, guys, welcome to episode 2.
Meet the Seavers.
Today we have with us Chicagoland's married power couple.
Dania and Alex Seaver.
They are both purple belts.
Dania Seaver is actually a purple belt under Rodrigo Comprido Medeiros and is actually part of our team with Jessica and myself.
And Joe.
And Joe Checha, yes.
Can't forget about Joe.
Joe Checha is actually not here with us in the studio right now, but we will be calling him in later so he can do his interview magic.
And Alex is a part of Carlson Gracie team.
Real short on mine. Thanks, guys.
Part of Carlson Gracie team underneath Carlson Gracie Jr.
When did you guys get into Brazilian Jiu Jitsu and how long have you been training for?
So I have been training since, shit jiu-jitsu and real jiu-jitsu together, like about 7 to 8 years.
Okay, how many years of shit Jiu Jitsu?
Dude, from like 2009 to like 2013. It was like this crappy lady who owns First U.S.
So like
Martial
was she
Arts.
covered in feces or is she just very good?
No. She was like batshit crazy. She would take like her black belt and like Taekwondo and put it over her gi, and she would claim that she was a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah, so we didn't ask like any questions, but like I found out soon enough that she was just like a purple belt, and it kind of made sense because I was never promoted from like 2009 to 2013, no stripes, no nothing. I was a white belt, and then I left in 2013, took a year break so I could find a legit school, and then that's where I ran into Leo and Randori, and after 2 weeks I got my blue belt from Leo.
Nice.
Yeah, and then after 2 years at Leo's, I went to Comprido's.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I actually started training because I couldn't swim anymore. I hurt my shoulder swimming and had to find some outlet and ended up finding MMA actually and started training at a Boss Rutan school out in 2010. 2011. Before moving out to Grand Rapids for Grand Rapids Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu when I joined Carlson Gracie.
Okay. How was the Boss Rutan school?
Very small. There was like 3 or 4 of us, and it was literally just heel hooks, like spinal locks, and
Eye gouges.
and like
Eye gouges.
yeah, it was pretty brutal. It was a good training for the first gym I trained at. That's why I do a bunch of leg locks compared to other purple belts,
Gotcha.
is because the first gym was all leg locks and stuff like that.
No thumbs up the poopers.
No oil
And then
checks.
take the thumb up the pooper. Get them to tap. I'm kidding.
Did
I'm
you guys
kidding.
do that?
No,
No,
we did not.
God,
We did
jeez.
not.
Oh, I thought you meant us as a couple. I'm like, whoa. No,
So that's a yes, though.
no, that's a God no. That's a God no.
And there goes
man.
the PG rating.
All
Yeah,
right.
right?
This is R now.
What you talking about is rated X for extremely awesome. Oh, wait, no,
awesome.
E. There's an E in extreme.
Oh yeah, guys, we forgot to warn you. With Dania Seaver on here, this thing is going up the ratings. It's past the R rating. Well, not quite yet. We're still at
No,
R.
it's not.
We're working
I mean,
there.
we're just having some fun.
This is only the beginning.
Poor
Right?
Jessica's sitting there like, yeah.
Jessica's 19.
terrible.
Jessica's 19. She could take it.
So how long did you say you were out at Grand Rapids for?
I trained out at Grand Rapids Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for about 6 years.
Okay, was that the first time in the gi? In
Yeah,
Grand Rapids?
I
Okay.
actually put on a gi for the first time. I bought it for Michigan Open. Didn't know how to tie my belt. Didn't know what a gi was. Took it out of the bag. Had a person stitch a patch on the way to the tournament.
Wow.
And then
Nice.
had my one of my old coaches, Ben Lindout, tie my belt on the edge of the mat.
That's awesome.
Went out and ended up winning 2 matches and lost my third. Got triangled, and then from there just kind of... I was going to eventually go back to MMA, but
Yeah.
got my butt kicked and couldn't settle, so decided to come back and try it again, and here I am 7 years later.
Nice.
Nice.
So when you were there looking dumb, getting your belt tied for you, I'm sure your opponent was like, oh, I'm going to smoke this clown.
Yeah,
Like-
a lot of people looked at me and were laughing just because I was that, like, belt came out of the bag, was still crisp, could barely be tied. And then everybody's like, what's he doing competing at Michigan Open? Like, it's a gi only event. Like, what is he doing? And then I ended up just pretty much taking the two guys down and passing their guard, and then not knowing anything to do, just laid on them for like 5 minutes.
All right. Were you afraid to break rules because you were so like?
I didn't know the rules.
Okay.
Honestly, I didn't know the rules at all. I just literally like stood up, pushed down on their knees, and then got to side control and was like, I'm winning. Okay, so stay here. Okay.
Hey, that was me for my first tournament. So funny thing, we never did takedowns over at First US.
At
the shit jujitsu. With that lady. So Fatima never told us to like stand up and do takedowns. So first match at Naga, I go out there and I sit on my knees. And they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, are we rolling? Yeah.
Oh my God.
And they're like, no, stand up. You're doing takedowns. I'm like, oh, shit.
What is that?
Yeah. I was like, oh, shit. So I'm like literally like pulling this girl like down, like spazzy white belt. Yeah, the spazzy white belt dance. And then, it was a novice division, so I think like the rules at that time or something, like I rear naked choked the girl and they said that I couldn't do that, so I technically got disqualified.
What?
It was really weird. Yeah, it was really weird. And it was like I tapped the girl out, but they were like, yeah, you technically get second place because that's not in the rules.
Okay. Well, that was even worse than you going to your knees.
Right. So
Got some weird rules.
Yeah,
You
that's
pull guard
really
and can't choke
weird.
people.
yeah, but this was like real like early and like when Naga was like like new. It was I think like 2009 or something like that.
So you guys are both purple belts, but how long have you been purple belts for?
I've been a purple belt for 3.5 years. And I mean it's been an interesting 3.5 years.
And you, Alex?
It's been about September will be 3 years that I've been a purple belt.
Nice.
Wow, quite some time at that belt.
Yeah. It's a lot has changed since then. Moved, done this, switched jobs. Now I'm out here training at a different gym too. So I've been out with Junior now about a year as a purple belt.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I'll be hitting, I believe, 2 years at Compritos in November 9th.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you spent more time as a purple than you have as blue?
Just barely.
Me, yeah.
Right?
No, I've spent more time at purple.
Than any other belt? Or,
Yeah,
than-
but if we're like taking in consideration like all my years as a white belt from 2009 to 2013,
shit years, right?
the shit years, yeah, that was the longest I ever was at a belt. And then I got my belt, like I said, the blue belt from Leo, and that was like 2 years on the dot.
Okay.
Then I got my purple, and now from purple it's been 3.5 years.
Nice.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think I spent about a year and a half as a white belt, and then about I think 2.5, almost 3 as a blue belt.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2013 in like January to like September in 2015 is when I got my purple belt. So almost 3 years as a blue belt.
Gotcha.
And what would you say are your major accomplishments?
Major accomplishments, I would say winning gold a couple times, no gi and gi at Chicago Open. I made it very close this year at Worlds, but unfortunately I got hurt like the last match before going into the medaling bracket, and it was a tear in my LCL, so I wasn't able to and I was beating the girl on points too.
That was a really motivational video.
It was so,
It really was.
guys, it was so bad. Like I couldn't sit.
Yeah, I had no idea what just happened.
So my toe on my left side was broken a week out because I was training while I was fasting, and I was like just super brittle and dehydrated. So I broke my toe during training, and I was like, I'm still gonna go to Worlds. I'm not gonna use that as an excuse. And in the match, it re-broke. And then when I came up on 50-50, my knee was like too much turned to the side, and then my LCL snapped.
Oof.
And when I was trying to finish the sweep and I went in her guard, I couldn't sit in anybody's guard. Like I literally couldn't sit in anyone's guard after that for like a month. It hurt so bad.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't walk up the stairs. It was pretty bad, but I mean, everything happens for a reason,
How
right?
are you feeling now?
So I'm feeling better, but I'm taking 2 more weeks to not do anything at all and just do rehab nonstop, so then I could be ready for no-gi worlds in September.
Okay.
Or
No-gi
pants. Yeah, no-gi pants.
Didn't you have a super fight coming up?
So Fight to Win asked me to do the August show, which is August 17th, and it was going to be for the belt, for a belt title. But because I was injured, I couldn't do it.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I'll be back for Fight to Win, hopefully, in October.
Okay, yeah, that'd be cool. And you've
For
done
sure.
that before. But yeah, let's get to Alex.
Most of my accomplishments aren't as amazing as Dania's, where it's like gold medals at IBJJF. Best I've done at IBJJF is...
Or Fight to Win.
Right.
Fight
Or
to Win wins.
No, my first appearance for Fight to Win will be this upcoming show, actually. So I haven't fought for them before. So hopefully that'll be on the accomplishment list. But for right now, it's a few bronzes at IBJJF and then 1 silver. Other than that, I haven't taken gold at IBJJF. Most of my accomplishments are no-gi and tournaments where I can do leg locks.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen some of your super fights live. They were really awesome. Like
the last one. Was
the last one,
super
especially against Yanakuros, who's really good, and you got the heel hook on him.
He
or knee bar, right?
Yeah, it was a knee
Yeah, it was a
bar.
knee bar.
It was going into it. I knew Eldon was he's a pretty technical guy, so pretty much my game plan was just to overwhelm him because I hadn't really been training too much. I was like, okay, if I make this a long battle, he's probably gonna win. So go out, overwhelm him, try and grab a leg. I knew he'd been sub before previously in the Grappling Games tournaments, I believe, with leg locks as well. So kind of helped things.
Yeah.
But actually, most of my bigger wins, super fights, or tournaments come from heel hooks or leg locks.
Okay. Yeah.
Which we practice a lot together. I will say this, you helped me a lot with my knee bars and my toe holds and whatnot.
I was actually able
that's
to get
romantic.
one
Yeah.
yesterday.
Well, because my last
Heel hooks bring us
fight to
together.
win, so my last fight to win was against Lisa Burnell. She's a really tough opponent. Like
One of my teammates.
one of his teammates.
Okay.
She slammed me twice, and like because like the mats or whatnot that they have, it like absorbs it. It really didn't like phase me.
Gotcha.
And I'm not trying to sound like a hard ass. It really didn't.
It didn't
So,
phase her.
but like her grips is what phased me the most because she like had death grips on me, and then I literally went into turtle after she was like passing, and I'm like, shit, I got to think of something fast, and I went for the knee bar, and I could thank this guy, and I could thank you, Jessica, because we were drilling. No, we were
Yes,
drilling.
we were.
Yeah, so like a
Step
week
aside,
out.
Alex.
Yeah,
She
right.
has a new training partner.
No, you're my number one training partner.
Yeah.
Come on. Well, you guys are tied.
Okay.
Number one. Yeah.
Fair enough.
But,
I'm only saying that because I'm here.
Yeah, right. But I was drilling with Jessica like the knee bars or whatnot, and then sure enough, I hit it. So
Nice.
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, Alex, honestly, and I don't want to get you in trouble, but who are you actually rooting for?
Oh, I won't get mad. I mean, I totally understand.
That match with Lisa and Dania, it was awkward because I was standing up in the bleachers by where everybody would be getting ready for the fighters, and I was standing between a bunch of Carlson Gracie guys, and I'm sitting there and watching my wife walk out. I literally just sat there dead silent recording on my phone, and then when Dania wins, I like ended up screaming like hell yeah or something around a bunch of my teammates, and they like all looked at me, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I mean, no, congratulations. It was really awkward. I mean, Lisa's an amazing person as well, so it was kind of like she's so nice that it's
Yeah, we were
you
actually
don't really want to
betting.
root
You don't
against
root
her.
against
We
her,
were
yeah.
betting food, like
Yeah.
on an Instagram comment because we were both like cutting weight, and it was like, oh yeah, loser owes the other one pizza and ice cream and whatnot. So yeah,
That's cool.
that was a fun match, but
Yeah.
As long as you can do something fun out of it like that, like it's egos shouldn't really get in the way of
Yeah.
things like
Yeah.
that.
yeah, no,
Well, and
that like I hate when I see these guys or even sometimes these girls like try to act like hard asses, like, oh, I'm gonna fuck you up on the mat.
So
I'm gonna
stupid.
like, dude, it's
They-
not
they do that?
MMA. It's not MMA.
Yeah.
Like, get out of here, you know? Like, you're grappling. You're like doing extreme cuddling, okay? Like let's not
sometimes
forget
pajama
that.
cuddling.
Yeah, pajama cuddling. So I don't like that. I don't.
Yeah.
And then
does
nothing's more embarrassing than like acting like a hard ass and then going on the mat and getting choked out by someone
Yeah.
and then you walk off of the mat like, oh, fuck, man, like I really like disrespected my opponent and look at what happened now.
Have you seen a lot of cases? Like, actually, Jessica, I want to hear from yours too. Like, have you seen a lot of cases of ladies like doing this? I've never seen it myself.
I mean,
I had it happen to me in one of my divisions, and it's funny because I totally cut you off.
Oh no!
I totally
Go
cut you
ahead.
off.
This
I'm
is
sorry.
your show.
I'm sorry. No. It's your show.
Today,
you're
this is your show.
You're the host. You're the host. But I could talk to you about this. My division, like what had happened was we were about to go on the mat, and like the girl just kept like death staring me. Like you know when you're like about to get on the mat and you're just like looking forward, you're waiting for the ref to just, say like come to the mat. She just kept looking at me, and I'm like, okay, whatever. She keeps staring at me, and then when I looked at her, she like winked at me, and I was just like, what the hell?
Okay. Well,
I'm like,
it sounds like
no
she
gi
really
or
likes
gi, I
you.
mean.
Yeah, she really like
No. This was Guy, and then I'm not gonna drop names, but I knew her coach.
Okay.
And when I went to actually visit the school afterwards to like train,
She winked at you again?
no, she wasn't there.
Oh.
And the coach was like, "You went up against so and so at IBJJF, and you had beat her." He's like, that humbled her so much that she actually quit. She actually quit jujitsu, believe it or not. And he's like, but we told her, like, what happens. You can't be cocky. Like, just come back. And yeah.
Okay.
So I guess she got embarrassed or something. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was like back in blue belt.
Okay.
So when people are still like, oh, I'm the best. I'm the
Yeah.
best. Like, I feel like you get your shit rocked and you know a little bit more about jiu-jitsu, like once you get deeper in blue or purple.
It's
I got
You know
messed
what I
up
mean?
a lot at white belt and learned that one pretty early.
Well,
I
I
did
feel like
absolutes, like-
everyone's journey is different.
The first few tournaments I did, I would always hop into the absolutes because I was that same guy who was like, man, the real division's the absolute division. I was like 135 pounds. This white belt who's hopping in with browns and black
Yeah.
belts who are like 240.
Oof.
And I'll never forget this. One of my buddy's coaches, he's a black belt now, he was a brown belt at the time. Justin Nazaroth, he's Jim Kim's coach.
Oh yeah.
He,
They're from Kaiki, right?
Yeah, from Warrior Way.
Yeah,
He,
they got some good guys over there. Yeah, good guys.
It was a gi absolute division where they had all submissions allowed. You could reap, heel hook, whatever.
Ooh.
I was like, okay, this guy's like a 3 or 4 stripe brown belt at the time, 20, 30 pounds heavier than me at least. I was like, okay, my one hope is try and heel hook this guy. Jump on a heel hook. He defends the heel hook, spends he does not finish me fast. He spends the entire round in mount grinding his gi across my face and making me regret ever touching his feet.
yeah.
That was the worst experience of my life, and he still remembers me from that match, and I still remember that wholeheartedly. That was like
That's
the
so
worst
funny.
beating I've ever gotten.
But you were saying, Jessica, like, have you seen that or no?
I mean, personally, like, people that I go against have seemed to be nice. Like, I've made a lot of friends through, like, competing against people.
Yeah.
It's hard to be mean to you. That's why.
You're always
But I
smiling.
think, like, a lot of times, like, especially in, like, today's world, they have a lot of people that, are kind of have, like, that hard attitude. So hopefully it doesn't really go any much further
I mean,
than
it
that.
makes no sense to have like such a hard ass attitude, because it's like, yo, there's gonna be someone who is better than you, and yo, there's gonna be someone who is worse than you. You know what I mean? And that's why, and I feel like that's why we practice, is so then we could, be the best on our worst days, and like keep excelling or whatever.
A big part is like that whole Dunning-Kruger, right? Dunning-Kruger effect, where everyone thinks they're like way up when they start something newer, and then over time it kind of goes
you
away.
start realizing,
and you realize how much more you have to learn than you know. Like there's so much more left to learn than there
for
is that
sure.
you already know.
for sure, yeah, absolutely. I wanted to see Joe, man.
I have never seen
Cha-cha.
Joe.
What?
Never seen Joe.
Fucking love him.
I-
Dude,
I-
some white belt. I don't know if you remember that older guy with like the gray hair.
Doug,
Yeah, I think it was Doug.
Oh, yeah, Doug.
I missed Doug.
What happened
Dude,
to Doug?
Doug was an asshole, okay? Like, Doug would, like, super resist
Yeah,
and
he
blah, blah,
would.
blah.
He really would.
And, like, he tried fucking up Joe, and I seen this, and I'm like, I fucking got you, Joe. So then Doug wants to roll with me, and I just literally fucking armbar six. Dude, my armbars suck ass, okay? They suck ass. Like, I don't finish them that
Like
great.
when you do an
And, like-
armbar, like the elbow goes up your butt, or what?
Such a fucking idiot.
Her ass sucks.
Yeah. So, like,
it's impressive.
yeah,
actually.
you guys rolled with me when I go for a fucking armbar. Like, it
felt the
sucks.
suction. Like-
So, like, it's not my submission of choice. But what's it called? So like I just kept fucking this dude up, and I just kept armbarring him, and I'm like, nobody fucking messes with Joe, bro. Like it got me so heated.
I wasn't aware that you and Joe were that close.
I love Joe. Joe was like, we were rolling one time too, and he was like, oh yeah, you know, like, I'm so disappointed I can't roll 100%. Like like I have an injury to my groin, and I'm like, bro, it's okay. We'll just flow roll. Like, you know those white belts you just want to like, they're so like willing to learn, and they're calm that you're like, man, you're the one out of the few spazzes. Let me put you under my wing and take care of you.
Joe Cha-Cha.
Joe Cha-Cha.
Yep. That's our host, Joe.
Right. Wait, was that recording? Fucking Christ. God damn it. People are going to think we're into like ass play, bro.
Yeah,
Do you not understand that?
You get one.
Just call your husband, bro.
Yeah. We bro each other a lot.
Weird.
Bro and dude.
Yeah,
we do say bro and dude.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
Wait, I say bro to you. You don't say really bro to me.
Usually I'm saying, dude, like, come on, dude.
Yeah,
Like, I'll say that one.
I think it's just from like
I get
being
the dude,
around like
too,
the
from,
gym and
Yeah.
tournament setting, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But dude is a hair from an elephant's ass, apparently.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Infected hair from an elephant's body. That's what they said in like 6th grade.
I don't know. I never fact checked that. I just took it as truth.
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
too.
Those were the days, right?
I'm
When
sure-
you're like, that's obviously true. Someone
Yeah.
said it. Like,
Right?
That's right.
people don't lie.
I don't need to Google it.
Of course not.
Before the internet existed, and it was the source of all truth.
Jeez.
And if you are a dude with an infected hair, try ranked soap. It'll clean you right up. No more infections. Stay clean while rolling.
So how did you guys start working at UFC Gym? Like, how did you get into that?
So, I actually was front desk. And I needed, like, fast money, obviously, to pay for, like, tournaments and jiu-jitsu and whatnot. And a couple months into front desk, I actually hated it. So I was like, I am a trainer at heart. And they started giving me, actually, kickboxing classes before they gave me any jiu-jitsu. And I did a lot of kickboxing classes, and then I did some women's only camps. Mm-hmm. And then from there, they gave me more jiu-jitsu classes.
Okay.
And when they gave me all these jiu-jitsu classes, I kind of was like overwhelmed and a little bit overworked. And they were like, okay, well, we need another trainer. So I was like, perfect. My husband, or not husband, but boyfriend at the time, you know, like he's hopefully going to move to Chicago. Are you guys willing to hire him? And yeah, they hired
My
him.
wife got me a job. That's how I started.
Yeah, pretty much. So he took over mostly the
Yeah, I drove out
jiu-jitsu
here and did like a 1 day interview sort of thing. Met with all the bosses 1 day, and then they gave me a start date and I planned a move date. So I moved in August 6th and started work August 7th. So I literally like when I moved out here, I left all my stuff in Grand Rapids because I wasn't done with that apartment yet. So I moved out here on the 6th with like, I think my mattress or something like that. Like, no, the first night here I slept on the floor. I brought like my blanket, pillows, my TV, and my PS4.
The PS4. You gotta have that.
And
The
my
bare
dog.
necessities.
And I brought my dog too. Everything else like I left out in Grand Rapids. And then the next day after I was done working, Dania gave me a futon to sleep on, so I didn't have to sleep on the floor for the next week until my bed got there with one of my buddies, Mike Moore, drove it down in a U-Haul for me.
Okay.
So I had him like clean out my apartment and then give the keys to the front desk.
him and Kevin DeVries actually. Kevin
Wow.
DeVries, yeah.
From, you guys are sponsors.
What
at
a
Rank
guy.
Soap.
Yeah.
Go
yeah.
buy a soap.
Speaking of, if you guys are feeling dirty, definitely go out there and buy some Rank soap.
It's actually awesome. I was like
Yeah.
really impressed with his line of soaps. But hands down, my favorite is the
Kevin doesn't always
the brown
impress
one.
me, but when he does, it's with soap.
Yeah, right. Definitely not moving a mattress. Like when we got the mattress,
They
it was like all the
destroyed
bottom
everything.
was like dirt. It's like they just
dr-
dragged
they
it on the
dragged it
floor.
ground.
Yeah, we're like, oh shit.
If you want to hire Kevin, do it as a soap maker, not as a mover.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. So, yeah, but that's how we started at the UFC gym, and I'll be hitting 2 years in December
Yeah.
23rd or
Yeah.
whatnot. And I mean, I don't even consider it work because it's so much fun.
yeah.
You know, I get to train people, I get to teach jiu-jitsu, and it's just really fun. And it's fun, fast money.
That's
really.
like some of the most important parts of life is where, you know, your job is not something you hate and you hate yourself for being there and stuff.
And they're so supportive of us like going out and competing. Like if we tell them like, really hey, Worlds is this day or Pans is this day, they're like, okay, take as much time as you need off. Awesome. And like one of our bosses actually, he was like, oh, are you guys at Worlds? And we're like, yeah, and some time off. And he was like, oh, I just wanted to say thank you. And then all of a sudden it was like, so-and-so quick paid you this. And it was like, bro, thanks.
Yeah.
You know?
So you guys have a great life. You're teaching jiu-jitsu. You're competing. You're doing podcasts.
Yeah, right. Look at that. This is our second one.
Wow. We took the day off yesterday and drove out to Michigan to compete, actually.
Well, you competed, yeah.
Oh, did you?
She drove out there so I could sleep and relax so then I could compete the next morning. So I actually... the guys over at Modern Flow, David Garmo and Detroit Jiu Jitsu.
Okay.
They hosted a 16-man invite for 170 and under.
Oh, gotcha.
This was the first event, too.
I won one and lost one. I won my first match in about probably like 10 or 20 seconds.
Nice.
Went against a tough black belt from out there who I wanted to end it fast because if he got on top of me, I knew he'd smash me.
Would he start grinding with the gi?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm having flashbacks. No, I ended up just doing a scissor takedown him to a heel hook because he's a strong wrestler, so he's putting his weight forward.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And then second match, I went against Khalil Fadala.
Yeah.
Not butchering that last name. Went against
It's
Khalil.
like you're married to an Arabian or something. Right. Look at that pronunciation.
So I went against Khalil, and I faced him before, and it's ended the same way both times. It's 8 or 10 minute match, goes into overtime because it's a tie, and then he wins on an escape time. And Khalil is
super strong,
so insanely strong, and everything's so tight. He popped my wrist from controlling my back.
Wow.
Like I can't post on my left hand today because he was controlling my wrist, straightened my arm, and then when he straightened it, he kept pushing, and my wrist turned and popped. And
his name? What did you say his name was again?
Khalil Fadala.
Isn't that Superman's first name? His real name, like from?
No, it's Clark Kent.
No.
Or what?
No, it's
Superman's original name in Krypton, like his father's.
I don't think it's.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
we got a Google search.
Khalil.
Yeah.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Whoa,
so
you fought Superman.
You fought Superman.
You fought Superman.
You did pretty good. If you had some kryptonite,
Good job.
So funny. Look at the shorts. Look at the shorts. Superman shorts.
Kal-El.
Kal-El. Yes. See,
it's very close.
Well, yeah, he probably changed a little so that no one would get suspicious.
Originally Superman.
Wow.
Well, see, there you go. Next time, just put some kryptonite in your pocket. And you're good to go.
If I find a way to beat him, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
But actually, you were speaking of women's camp, and that was actually my next question for you. How are those, and like, do you have any? So let's say like there's some ladies on here that would be interested in this kind of thing, but they're scared to get into grappling and this type of sport. Do you have like wisdom for them, and just talk about your women's camp a little bit?
So basically what I do for the women's camp is I advertise it as like fitness, like a fitness camp, like strength and conditioning with a little bit of kickboxing and boxing. And I do this strategically because I know women get intimidated with, certain martial arts. And after a while in the camp, I end up getting a couple women who are like, oh, well, could we start sparring? And it's like, whoa, wait, okay,
nice.
you're
Cool.
So it's like planting the seed and then slowly growing. Yeah. So I've taught like very, very few jiu-jitsu. I usually like feel out the crowd of women first, and then if they're interested, I'll do a couple classes of jiu-jitsu with them. But I mean, it's rewarding when I hear these women at the end of the camp being like, oh my God, we loved it. We learned so much. We're signing up again.
Awesome.
You know, and it's genuinely, it's not about the money for me. It really isn't. Because like I said, it's fun.
Yeah.
And what I feel is more rewarding than the pay is hearing them say like they learned something, or like hearing them say that, I was able to defend myself or something like that in this situation. So
has that happened? Like
right for the first time.
What's up?
Has that happened? Like someone that actually ended up having to use it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
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 Wow.
If it's not like in my camp or whatnot, like a client, had to like defend themselves or whatever, and it's good. It's good hearing that.
That's really good. Yeah.
So
you saved someone.
Yeah, pretty much. So
Had Aiden that was getting bullied.
yeah, he had a client too who was getting
Yeah, he's
bullied.
think he's 11 now.
Mm-hmm.
He plays like travel league baseball.
Okay.
And he was getting bullied on the team he was on, and the coach was saying some very unnerving things towards a little child when you're an adult.
Oh,
That's terrible.
And so I guess it wasn't helping this kid as he was getting bullied by their teammates. So I guess this kid like walked up to bully my client one day and like in his face, pushing him, grabbing his bat, taking it from him. Client stands up, pushes him, kid comes back, like goes to punch him, he like ducks. He said he just got out of the way, he didn't tell me exactly what, but got out of the way and then uppercutted the kid. Kid drops, controls him on the ground, takes his bat back, and then no kid has messed with him since.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
He's like, he did
right?
that, walked away, and the coach was like, I can't say anything because he was defending himself. Like,
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool to hear.
Yeah, no, it's definitely,
It's the
like I
best part
said,
of the job.
rewarding and best part of the job. You know, them implementing their skills that we've, taught them.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I think it's about time we call our host,
Joe Checha.
We'll get him on here.
Joe
He's got a bunch of
Checha.
questions for you guys. So.
Oh, great. Joe!
All right, we've got Joe Checha here. Joe Checha, say hello.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good, how are you, man?
And then we get to see your beautiful profile picture as the background.
I am obsessed with his child. He's so cute. So cute.
I am
Just
at the
got
neighbor's
babysitted.
house
I
right
did
now.
one.
Just,
Did you?
just so I can
Once.
talk.
And you didn't call
Yeah.
me. We could have
It was
co-babysat.
2 years ago. Yeah, we
Okay.
should have.
Right? That kid would have been like the safest kid on the planet if us two were there, right?
Hey, so Joe.
How have you guys been doing so far? How are you guys progressing?
Good.
We're progressing.
I mean, we're doing good. I mean, progressing in what? Like jiu-jitsu and life and marriage?
I'm getting.
Be more specific.
I'm getting to the conversation late. I was just trying to see if I can get caught up on what I missed so
Hey,
far.
Joe, you had a bunch of questions to ask. Go ahead, and here they are.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to ask like how you guys met and stuff, and like when was like your first date? That's really I just always wanted to know.
Oh man! So you ready for the whole spiel?
Let's hear it.
So
Yeah, let's hear it.
So we'll tell you how we first met. How we first met was actually we were both at a tournament, and he was wearing a Taylor Swift rash guard.
ADCC.
Okay, yeah, ADCC.
2013, yeah.
And he actually went up against DJ. You remember DJ?
Yeah.
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 Back when I was a blue belt, made it to the finals of the pro division.
You did good. But we still didn't know each other until like literally 2 weeks after that. We were both sponsored by a place called Spartan Warrior Wear. And they made like a picture collage, and they put like him representing the guys line and me representing the women's line. And then he added me. And from there, it was like we just seen each other in passing at other tournaments, high and by. And he approached me one day at IBJJF while I was getting ready for the absolute division in the
Wasn't
bullpen.
happy about it.
Yeah,
Oh.
I definitely. Well, I wasn't because like I'm trying to focus. You know what I mean? I have my headphones in, and then constantly like, okay, another fucking fanboy taking on and off.
She's so
taking-
famous.
Shut up! You never got any guys being like, "Hey, Jessica," like I
To be
see your
fair, all the
shit.
guys listening, that is not the way to approach a jiu-jitsu girl is while she's in the bullpen. Do not
Probably
approach her.
not.
Yeah, and with headphones,
I think
like
we
with
all knew that. It
headphones.
was just
Right?
You needed to hear that.
I learned the hard way, all right? So
Yeah.
if anybody else is thinking that that's the right way, you're wrong, and don't do it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so
great.
he approaches me and I'm like, okay, dude, cool. Yeah, I know who you are. All right, trying to get ready for a division. And I mean, from there, like after that tournament, we started talking a little bit.
Yeah, we started
on,
talking a little bit, and then we had our first date was actually set up around our team trainings because Carlson, Gracie team training, and Braza training
We're on the same day. Yeah.
So we
Oh.
planned our first date for Braza training and Carlson training. So I was coming to Chicago from Grand Rapids at that point, and
Okay.
we went out after our team trainings for Brazilian Bowl.
Yeah, which I was actually forced to go on that date.
What?
Hold on.
yeah.
So first you talked to her on the boat.
Yeah, I know.
Now you force her to
Yeah,
go on a date
right?
with you.
Well, no.
I
This
did
does
not
not
force
sound
her.
good.
I
No,
did
no,
not
no.
force her.
Listen, this
She
is
wanted
what
to bail.
happened. So I wanted to bail again for the third time.
Yeah.
Because, like, I was, like, very deep into my jiu-jitsu. I just wanted to focus on jiu-jitsu, and I didn't want, like, a relationship or anything like that. And he asked me out on a date, and I was like, before this, and I was just like, yeah, sure, we'll go out. And then, like, an hour before, I was like, yeah, sorry, I can't make it. I have work. And then the second time, I did the same shit. And then the third time, this time, I was like, I was at training, and one of my girlfriends was like, no, you should go because you could possibly miss one of the best, like, things in your life. And it gives me the chills. Gives me the chills because she was so spot on. And I went, and I was like,
five every time I see her.
yeah, I went.
A wing woman.
Yeah. So I went, and I'm like texting her. I'm like, this is gonna be bad. Like, I'm pretty much leading this guy on by doing this. She's like, no, just go and think of it as, like, you know, friends just talking. And sure enough, like, we were at downtown Brazilian Bowl.
Yeah.
And we literally, our first date was like 7+ hours of just like talking.
Yeah.
And we really hit it off, and it was really fun. And a lot of people are like, oh, so did you guys only talk about jiu-jitsu? No, like, we talked about, like, jiu-jitsu, friends, you know, parts of Michigan he was from, religion, like,
talk, though.
Yeah. Well, obviously, because it's a, you know, a common interest, but, like, we talked a lot. And even then, I was like, and I'm not trying to sound like a hard ass, I'm just being blunt with it, you know. Being me,
which is a hard ass.
You're such a dick. But I guess you are what you eat, right, Dania? Anyways, so
there goes the R rating.
Right? I said rated X. So, like, even after, like, a good first date, I was like, okay, you know, I'm just gonna keep this guy as a friend because I want to focus on jiu-jitsu. And then I did a fundraiser to go to Worlds, and it was kind of like an open invite. It was like inviting everybody, you know, to come.
You personally invited me.
I did not. I did not. How did I personally invite you?
Send me a flyer and be like, hey, I'm having this thing.
Yeah, okay. I sent it to everybody, and I included you too. And I was like,
me to send it to everybody. I felt special.
Sorry. Okay. Well, truth be told, yeah, right.
For real.
So I sent it to everybody, and like I said, it was open invite. Like, you know, bring your friends, whatever. We're gonna have food and all that. And he drove all the way out from Michigan to this fundraiser, and he was doing everything. Like, he was helping me out, like setting up the tables, collecting money, giving out tickets, and I was like, okay, you know, this guy is really, like, he's a wingman. He's awesome. And then
he's a wingman.
Yeah. I kept him as a wingman for a little bit, like a friend.
Means marriage material.
No. You were still friend zoned. You were still friend zoned, dude.
I didn't know yet, though, that I was still friend zoned.
So, leading up to...
But apparently you didn't know you were a wingman either. You're helping her pick up dudes?
But no, not like that. Okay, wrong choice of words. Wrong choice of words.
Yeah.
He was a buddy. Okay, he was a buddy, and just, like, was helping me out for the fundraiser. And to answer your question on who said I love you first, so it was me.
Was it a tie?
No, it was me. And it was at that fundraiser. So we were, like, in the room counting. Yeah.
He was your friend?
So no, listen, like, a lot happened at that fundraiser, dude. So he's, like I said, he's, like, doing all this stuff, and my family was there, and he was interacting with my friends, my family, and we had talked a lot up until the fundraiser. And I remember, like, looking back and being like, I was, like, standing there, he's interacting with my friends and family, and they're hitting it off very well. And I'm like, man, I'd be stupid to let this guy go. Like, this guy is an amazing guy. Like, I think I feel something. Yeah. And then when we were counting the money, I was like, oh, thank you for everything. I love you. Like that. And, like, I literally tripped. I tripped over my words.
Because you were saying it, like, because you say that to, like, Jessica
like,
and stuff.
love you, man.
But then you're like, wait.
I literally, like, I'm pretty sure he'll never forget my face when I was saying it, because I was like, oh, I love you. And I was like, and then his response was, oh, you said it first.
I laughed. I was like, I knew you'd say it.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, no shame. So
that's great. That's great.
And that fundraiser too, I stayed to help her clean up and everything. And I had set up a seminar at my gym the next morning, so I drove back after that fundraiser.
Yeah.
I stayed to help like clean up and everything. So I left at like midnight. I got back at like 3 or 4 a.m. And the seminar we had for the next day was for like 9. And so I drove straight back and I slept in the gym on a couch in the gym to open up the gym for the seminar that next morning. And I literally couldn't. So tired from helping her, I couldn't even do the seminar.
I made some sacrifices for you.
He definitely he definitely did. He definitely did, and I mean, here we are now, and I'm thankful for it. So
yeah,
wow. And how did he propose? How did he
Yeah.
How did he ask?
So wait, hold on.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear your idea. What his idea was before we actually tell you the proposal. 'Cause the proposal is pretty ghetto.
What was your first idea? Like, how did you want it to go?
The one about like California and Hunter or some shit like that. You were saying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, to my mom, because my mom apparently knew this, but I didn't.
Yeah. Well, so I went a little old school with the proposal, and I actually went and sat down with her dad for dinner and like asked him for her hand and all that.
That's
first.
amazing.
And then
no.
And then I talked to her mom as well, because she is a little like she was raised by her mom for a long time, so I talked to her mom as well. And then her mom was actually part of why we did it the way we did, the way she suggested it. She's like, oh, do it like traditional, like Adobe way, like do it this, and it's a little bit different than like get down on one knee, propose like that. It's you have a party saying you're engaged, and that's like the proposal.
So it's pretty much like Alex came and asked for, like old school, asked for my hand in front of my family, and then my family gave their blessings.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, this was
that's
the visual
common.
he
That's
had,
common.
not the actual.
No. This is what
actually happened. I tried right now. I tried getting him to say
so that's
what his idea was for the proposal, so then I could explain this part. But husbands.
So that's what actually happened, because her mom asked me when I went to talk to her, like, what are your other plans? And I was like, propose to her like out in California after Worlds, or like along those lines, or either I had my dog Hunter at the time, our dog Hunter, and it was either that or like have the ring around his collar and like have her like walk in and have him run, because he always runs up to you when you walk in, so he runs up and jumps on you, so it'd be like a ring hanging there, and those ways. And then her mom's like, those are cute, but
it's not gonna fly. But it's not gonna fly with a strict Muslim household.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like, hey, you guys have to do things a little bit more traditional, and then you can do your wedding how you want. Mm-hmm. So the actual like engagement, proposal, all that, we did kind of like more traditional for like her family, and my family didn't really care. They were just kind of like, oh, you guys are getting engaged, you're getting married. Let us know when and where.
Yeah.
Like.
In Italian families, though, like being first generation here in America, their idea is, though, too, to have everyone at the house when you do it. Like you have your parents, brothers and sisters, first cousins, as many people as you can, and then you pop the question.
Yeah.
Hey, Italy is
same idea.
That whole region, right? It's all close to the Middle East.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just kind of like those cultures have like a very close ties to the family. My family, like, everybody's close, but it's more like we live so far apart from each other that it's like, okay. Yeah. Let us know when the actual day happens, and we'll make the trip out there. We're going to drive 5 hours for you to ask her to marry you, and then turn around and drive 5 hours back. Like,
see, I had some good questions. See that?
I know you had one more about like the purple belt and stuff, but let's ask that one.
Let's ask that one. I was saving that.
Yeah. Let's save that for a moment, because I have something to say about that. I think Jess does too. So there are a couple other questions you had, right?
That was really going to be my next main one. Actually, was going to be that
but
one.
Jess has one, so.
So, what are some of the challenges and benefits of training with each other? Since you guys are so close, you probably see each other all the time.
Yeah.
Man, these are like good questions, guys.
Yeah, because you guys can practice on each other. That's got to be a great idea.
Yeah,
you know.
In theory, yeah.
In theory, awesome. yeah. So I feel like it's because I do get like mad with him. Like he is the only role that like if I like go up against and I get tapped or he gets the best of me, like I'm pissed afterwards. And like I could roll with like all you guys at the gym, and like if you guys get the best of me, I'm like, okay, fuck it, whatever, like good job,
Was that the first F-bomb, or?
That's probably like the All right, whatever.
I'm really surprised if it was.
Fuck you guys. How about that? That's two. That's two.
All right.
Anyways.
We'll have to count afterwards.
Right? But like, and I feel like there's just so much emotion behind it because I told him this before. I'm like, you're my husband and somewhat of like a coach to me and a role model that it's like, I don't want to disappoint you. So when I'm tapping, I'm tapping out to you or whatnot, it feels like I failed in front of you. So, but it does have its benefits because you do push me harder and you know my game so well that like it creates good challenges for me.
Yeah, I mean, it does have its benefits for sure.
You guys did a video together, which was pretty cool. It was on someone's channel, if I'm not mistaken. I think BJJ Tips or something like that. It was you two doing like a move, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, an instructional.
It was a UFC gym thing, right?
Oh, was that the Peruvian?
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
like
it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize that was even a weird way to do a Peruvian necktie. Like, I thought that was just a normal way because I talked earlier about, like, being from a boss root in school the first time. Like, it's how we learned it. Like, I didn't even think it was weird because it's not something you see a lot of, so I never even saw really anybody else's way to do it. And then I showed that one, and they're like, oh, that's different. Let me try that one out. I was like, how's it different? This is just a Peruvian necktie. Like,
but it's nice that, like, the way I do it and then the way you do it, like, we learn off of each other.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, try grabbing this way, or hey, try doing this. And then it's like...
it's the bonus of being on opposite teams.
Yeah. We have the best of both worlds right now.
Yeah, you guys get some, you get some good coaching from different sides, different perspectives.
For sure. And it's funny because now when I go and roll with someone who, like, rolled with Alex, they're like, oh, my God, you guys move so much alike. And it's like... They're like getting severed by the Seavers. I'm like, yeah, so funny. How are we doing? So, yeah.
Whenever you get like an outsider's perspective on like your role, you don't realize like how similar you are to like some of your training partners. Like my girlfriend is saying that like you, Jessica, and I roll similarly. Like, and it's not something I would have seen.
I didn't.
Yeah, the Braza babes.
I feel like though
Yes,
I feel like though we like roll differently.
Yeah, me too.
100%.
Yeah, I would never
compare
compare ourselves.
I wouldn't compare it either, but the fact that we sometimes, the way we pass, like because I edited Jessica's highlight reel, and I actually picked up a lot of passing off of just watching that.
Yeah.
And
you're saying Jessica taught you a lot.
You're welcome, Deets.
Jessica did teach me a lot. I did start moving kind of similarly in some ways with passing, and so I think other people can see that, which like people that don't train with us regularly.
So let me ask you guys something, since you guys have been doing it a lot longer than me, and so you could see that there's like the Braza team has a certain way, or is it a certain coach's way? We all take his style, like say coaches like more heavy,
It seems to be like the coaches themselves. Like, I mean, you see it. It's not like so like for my team, it's not like a Carlson style. There is like the old like impression of like, okay, it's a Carlson Gracie guy's gonna smash pass all this, but you see more of like an individualistic style with each coach. Like, you get the Carlson guys from South Bay. I mean, they're very, very guard oriented. They're open guard, lapel guard, all these like newer things. Whereas you get some of the older school guys, and it's very like, oh, don't touch the lapel, just smash them. So it's not so much like the team as much as what I see as the instructor. So there's a wide variety. Like, I'm sure the same thing with Braza. I mean, Comprito and Kyle are both amazing, but you're not going to see the same style from Comprito as you see from Kyle Terra. Like,
yes, right.
Comprito's a good person. I don't think he's going to be showing you reverse daily heel back take, so...
Sometimes.
Hey, you don't know.
Actually,
like for a big guy.
He is surprisingly
He taught Barambolos. Like, he teaches everything.
He always surprises me, but he doesn't look like he...
Like, for a big dude, his guard is sick.
You know that little Indo board that I think
that
Jim
has?
Comprito's good at it.
Comprito just... First day, he hopped on it and he was able to balance. You'd be surprised.
He's
a natural
amazing,
athlete.
Yeah, on the Grappler Union podcast, he was saying how he
wants to snowboard.
He wants to snowboard, and like how he's done some type of like little bit of like snowboarding and like all like skateboarding back in Brazil and whatnot. And it was interesting to hear, and it makes sense now because the dude's got good balance. Like when I see him roll, I'm like, damn, dude, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I'd never want to roll with him.
Yeah.
No, neither would I.
Yes,
Neither would
I've
I.
watched him roll with a few
Because he's
people.
super
and
huge. Yeah, but he's like, he rolls with you because you're big.
also
It's-
big.
It's fun though. It's a good roll. Like it's.
I'm sure
I
I'd
bet.
have fun up until the time where
mean,
I'm like,
it's also
this is fun, and
miserable,
he's
but
sitting
it's-
there and out, like smashing me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean,
It sucks too, but it's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Want to do like a rap?
Yeah.
Let's do a rap.
All right.
Okay.
Mic
All
check,
right,
mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
His belt color same as Beats.
Jesus. These are-
WRAP, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah, so this has been about maybe 2 or 3 times longer than the last episode.
I told you our
We,
episode's going to be freaking long.
Yeah,
it's hard to get
I
us to
thought
shut
so
up.
too.
Yeah.
but we don't want you to shut up either. It's been fun. So I almost want to keep talking, but that's going to bore the hell out of
Be
everyone
5
else.
hours long.
Yeah,
I
5-hour
was gonna- nope.
podcast.
No.
Hey, listen,
thanks.
if they listen to Joe Rogan, they could listen to us. It's about the same time.
How long is Hogan?
It's 2
Hogan.
hours. What?
It's 2 hours. Okay.
Yeah, it's about like 2 hours or
2.5 to
something
3
like
hours
that.
on every
2 hours.
podcast.
Yeah, it's going to be shorter than 2.
This is all just so crazy information that's
Exactly.
coming at you.
Yeah. No, for sure. So,
All right. You guys have any words for our listeners?
if you're a white belt, keep training. You're gonna be the nail like every day. But just keep at it. Keep showing your face on the mat, and it's really fun, and it's a lifestyle, 100%. You find some of the best people in jiu-jitsu, and yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, and then just thank you to our sponsors who
For
help us
sure,
out.
yeah.
Fuji, Monkey Tape, Liao Optics, of course, Lionel's the man, and then Kevin DeVries himself, Rank Soap.
Yeah. Also, to Eat to Be Fit,
Yep.
Chef Ed. So if any of you guys are like weight cutting or anything like that, he actually makes some awesome meal preps. So
Makes me not hate cutting weight.
Yeah. So really good food for sure.
On the road back to featherweight now.
Yeah, right.
And where can our listeners find you guys on social media?
So mine is D and then Seaver BJJ.
And mine is just Seaver, BJJ.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
very similar.
This is
pretty easy to
Instagram?
find. Yep,
Yeah, this is
on
Instagram. Yep.
Facebook is just Alex Seaver and Dania Seaver.
And then if you guys want to catch a session or a class, the UFC Gym Lombard or the UFC Gym Oak Lawn.
And you guys have open mats? What's the schedule for
Yeah,
that?
so every Sunday, actually, we have an open mat from 12 to 2 out at UFC Gym in Lombard. Anybody's welcome. All you need to do is be able to sign a waiver.
Yeah.
No drop-in fee or mat fee or anything like that.
So guys, you want to train with some high quality instructors here? Chicagoland's power couple here.
Yeah, right.
So
There you
go for it. Go to those open mats and you'll have fun. You'll train with some tough people and you'll probably learn a lot too. So check it out. That's it for episode 2, Meet the Seavers.
See you guys.
See ya.
See you, Joe.
See ya.
Yep.